Yeah. Na 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 na. When I had from the eagle gone, I began to gaze at this place, and before further I did pace, I will all the shape describe of house and city in every wise, and how I began my approach to this place on so high a rock. Higher stands there none in Spain, but up I climb with great pain. And though to climb it grieved me, yet I was eager still to see, and peered about bending low to see if I could somewhere know what kind of stone this rock was, since it was like illumined glass. Except it showed far more clear, but of what congealed matter it was I did not know truly. Yet I conned it thoroughly, and found that all did now reveal a rock of ice and not of steel. Thought I, by St. Thomas of Kent, this is a feeble fundament on which to build a place so high. He should not himself then glorify who built this, so God me save. Then I saw one side engraved with famous folks' names aplenty, that enjoyed great prosperity, and whose fame was widely known. But I could scarcely find below any letters that I could read that showed their very names indeed. They were almost all through, and of the letters but one or two were melted away of every name. So unfamous had grown their fame, as men say, what can ever last? Then in my mind I thought at best that they had melted with the heat, not worn away with storms beat. For the other side, I must say, of this hill that northward lay, I saw was written full of names of folk that had achieved great fame in ancient times, and yet they were as fresh as men had writ them there, that self-same day, that hour just ere that I upon them came to stare. Yet well I knew why they were shaved, it was protected by the shade. All this writing that saw I of a castle that stood on high, and stood too in so cold a place that it could not be thus defaced. Then up the hill I started climbing, and found upon the top a dwelling that all the men ever alive had not the cunning to describe the beauty of that self-same place, nor could compass in its space such another its form to catch, that might in beauty be its match, nor so wonderfully be wrought that it still astounds my thought, and makes my spirits down to sink, if on that castle I do think, such that the mighty beauty, the cast of it, and the subtlety, I can to you now describe it. My wit indeed will not suffice, yet nonetheless all the substance I have yet in my remembrance, so that I thought by St. Giles all was of gemstone of Burials, both the castle and the tower, and the whole to every bower, without sections or joinings, but many subtle compassings, gargoyles there and pinnacles, sculptures fine and tabernacles I saw, and as many windows as flakes falling great snows, and in each of the pinnacles were sundry niches and angles, in which there stood all without the whole castle, all about, all manner there are minstrels and entertainers, telling tales both with weeping and in game of all that belongs to fame. There I heard playing on a harp that sounded both loud and sharp, Orpheus full skillfully, and at his side, fast nearby, sat the harpist Arian, and the east side's Chiron, and other harpists many a one, and the Breton Glascurian, and lesser harpists at their ease sat below them on various seats, and up towards them did gape to copy them, as does an ape, or as art count of its nature. Then behind them I saw there, far away all by themselves, many thousand times 12, who made loud minstrelsy on bagpipe and woodwind free, and many another on flute and on reed, played at feasts where men eat, and many fifes and clarions and pipes made of green corn, like those the little shepherds wield, who guard the sheep in the field. They saw a not Tityrus then, obsessed as the Athenian, and Martius who lost his skin from his face and chest and shin, because he once purposed low to pipe it better than Apollo. They saw our famous old and young pipers of the German tongue, teaching love dances, springs, reels, and such foreign things. And saw I in another place, standing in the larger space, those that make a warlike sound with trumpet, cornet, clarion, since in fighting and bloodshedding there is commonly trumpeting. They heard I blow with Misenus, of whom great Virgil tells us. Then I heard Job also, Theodamus and others so, and all who played the clarion in Catalonia and Aragon, who famous in their time were as teachers, I saw blowing there. There I saw sitting on other seats, playing on instruments aplenty, which I cannot name even. More than there are stars in heaven, about whom I choose not to write, for your ease and to save time. For time once lost, know it ye, in no way can recover be.